Hello my people, welcome to the video on Veneto. This video is part of the Thirsty and Wise Study and Support Program for wine people preparing for their WSET Level 3 in Wine course and exam. This video is part of the 3-video series on Northern Italy. In previous video we talked about Trentino, Alto Adige and Friuli Venezia Giulia. This video will be about Veneto. Veneto is located between Friuli Venezia Giulia in the east and Alto Adige and Trentino in the west. It is one of the biggest wine producing regions in Italy, and it's important for the quantity but also for the quality of the wine that is produced here. The most important appellations for the whites is Soave, and for the reds is Valpolicella. In general, in northern Italy here it has moderate continental climate that is influenced by the several factors. The moderation here comes from the higher northern latitude, proximity of the Alps in the north. The Lake Garda is in the west, provides moderation. Lake Garda is the biggest lake in Italy. River Po. It is located in the south, which brings moderation and also humidity, which brings issues with fungal diseases. The town of Venice kind of is located in the eastern part, and it's like a border where Veneto finishes. So the moderate continental climate, high altitude vineyards, also diurnal range provides great conditions for grapes to ripen properly and also to retain freshness of the fruit and acidity. The most important white grape variety here is Garganega. Other grape varieties are Trebbiano, Pinot Grigio and Chardonnay. The Soave wines, the best wines, are made with more Garganega in the blend, with less other grape varieties. The most important black grape variety is Corvina, and therefore, of course, for the appellation of Valpolicella, there's also some Merlot grown here, but mainly for the Veneto IGT red wines. Prosecco is also produced here, and we'll talk about more Prosecco in the sparkling wine sessions. The most important white appellation is Soave, the most important red appellation is Valpolicella. Soave, so the town here in between Soave and Valpolicella is Verona. So Verona, Soave is located east of Verona. The vineyards here are separated between appellations of Soave Classico and Soave. Soave Classico is that original area that is higher in altitude on the hills, steeper slopes, more moderation, more diurnal range, better well-drained soils like limestone, clay and volcanic rocks, higher altitude like I said, and these wines they have more concentration and have the ability to age, versus Soave appellation which is more on flatter lands, on lower altitude, more richer soils like sandy and alluvial soils, and the wines for Soave are meant for early consumption, for simple wines. In general, the white wines here are medium acidity in body with stone fruit. Like I said, Soave Classico has more acidity and slightly more ripeness, more concentration. Usually the wines are not aged in oak, and Soave Classico wines have the potential to age further in the bottle. For Valpolicella, so Valpolicella appellation is located west of Soave. Similar topography and soils like in Soave. Again, there's two appellations, Valpolicella and Valpolicella Classico. Valpolicella Classico wines, yes, they're a little bit better than basic Soave, but Valpolicella wines are more influenced by winemaking, grape growing and winemaking techniques like Passito method and Ripasso, which I'm gonna explain in a second. Corvina is the most important grape for Valpolicella wines. It's a thin skin grape variety that produces pale color wines with lower amounts of tannin and high acidity, but it's blended with other grape varieties for more structure and also Passito method and Ripasso winemaking technique to produce ripe, more fuller structured red wines. So let's explain Passito and Ripasso. So Passito method, the purpose of Passito method is to increase the structure of the wine. So more color, more tannin, more acidity, more flavor and color for the red wines. The way that Ripasso method works, the grapes are picked early to retain more acidity, and they're dried indoors in special conditions that allows the grapes to lose water, to become more raisiny-like. And because the grapes lose water, everything else concentrates. The sugar amount, concentrates, the flavor, the color, the tannin. There's two styles of wines that are produced with Passito method. The dry style is called Amarone de Valpolicella, it's a DOCG, and the sweet style is called Recioto de Valpolicella, and it's also a DOCG. There's also a sweet version of Soave, which is called Recioto di Soave. So the main difference between the two wines, the drying process is longer for the sweet wines in order to get more sugar concentration in the grapes. So Amarone will be full-bodied, very high in alcohol. 16-17% alcohol is normal, maybe not 17 that is normal, but I saw wines that are 17% alcohol. They're rich full body wines with a lot of concentration and have a huge potential for aging in the bottle and to get more complex. Recioto wines are lusciously sweet wines that are very concentrated with fruit and ripeness, and also have potential for aging. Also, you need to understand, when you have dried grapes that are made by Passito method, the fruit flavors in the wines always taste ripe. Ripasso method, it is used for Valpolicella wine. So Ripasso means repressed. So the Valpolicella wines are added, so basic Valpolicella or Valpolicella classical wines are added to finished Amarone fermentation that is, sorry, let me explain again. So Ripasso means that the grapes from almost finished Amarone grapes are going to be added to basic Valpolicella and Valpolicella Classico. So the grapes from almost finished Amarone wines will be added to Valpolicella and Valpolicella Classico. I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself, but I just want to be clear with this. And because the grapes still have some sugar, and because you're adding additional amount of grapes to basic Valpolicella, Valpolicella Classico, these wines are going to be more fuller body with more color, more tannin, more and more flavor. Process increases the alcohol level, the color, the tannin, and the flavor to basic Valpolicella wines, and these wines are going to be called Valpolicella Ripasso. Okay, and that's it. My people, thanks so much for watching. I hope these videos are helping. Stay thirsty and wise, and I'll see you in the next video that you saw on Piedmont.